What's going on, family? Let's break down the 7 mistakes that push me even further away as a dismissive avoidant attacher. Family, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Eleanor and this is Dismissible Me, where I speak only about dismissive avoidant attachment from the perspective of someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment style. Please like, share, and subscribe. Find me on Instagram. Check the playlist. All of my information is down below in the description box. Do not forget to drop your attachment style and where you are watching from down below. And getting right into today's topic, 7 mistakes that push me even further away as a dismissive avoidant attacher. And the number one thing, numero uno on my list, is chasing after me when I pull away. This does not help your cause, especially if I have verbalized that I need space and why I need space. To continue to demand attention when I've been clear through my words and my actions, it just comes off as a lack of respect for my space, for my boundaries, and really for me as an individual. It comes off as you don't care about how I feel. You care about how I make you feel and whether or not I'm making you comfortable. My comfortability is of, little importance to you. If I'm pulling away and I'm letting you know I need space, respect that and give me the space. Now, I will touch upon if somebody did not say why they were pulling away. Also, if I have pulled away and you have reached out and I've told you that, hey, I just need some space, or nothing's wrong, I just need some time to myself, this is a moment for you to recognize that I may be being indirect with my words that everything is okay, but my actions, which is why you're questioning my behavior, my actions are saying something else. My actions are saying, give me space. So give me the space. If you want to be helpful in this situation, there is a way to do that, and that is to just let it be known that you're there if and when I decide to open up to you, that you can be here for me when I'm ready to talk, when I'm ready to come back, within a reasonable time frame. So chasing after I pull away is a mistake, a common mistake that people make that only pushes me away. It only comes off as a lack of respect. It only comes off as feeling smothering. It only comes off as being clingy. The chasing when I'm needing space, you're only going to chase me further away. Number 2 on my list of mistakes that push me away as a dismissive avoidant is forcing emotional conversations, especially if I'm telling you that I need space and there's been some type of conflict or argument. Forcing me to come to a conclusion that makes you feel comfortable in that moment may not be what I need in that particular moment. Maybe I'm needing space. But it could also be that you're being emotionally vulnerable. You could be expressing your emotions. You could also be asking me to be vulnerable with you, open up, tell you more things about me. And it's this pushing me to open up before I'm ready to open up to you, especially if I've set a boundary or let you know, like, hey, I'm not ready to go there yet, or this particular topic is not one that I'm ready to open up to you about. Now you're making me feel the pressure to perform. and I feel like I mention this a lot, this pressure to perform or to be something that I'm not. And especially when I'm being clear with you in my words that I'm not this way, or in this moment I need this, or this does not work for me. Now I feel suffocated. Because again, it goes back to a lack of respect for my boundaries, and respect for me is, I'm not there. I'm not ready for that. And here you are pushing me to be emotional with you. I'm not ready for that. Just give me time. Give me the time that I'm asking for. Or if I'm not asking for a certain amount of time and you need a time frame, then this is the time to ask about time frames. If someone cannot give you a time frame that is reasonable, or a time frame at all, then we're talking about a lack of accountability. Somebody doesn't want to be held to whatever it is that they say. And we're also talking about a lack of emotional maturity as an adult human being. And now we have to look at, are you even compatible with this person that's lacking in the maturity category in several different areas? Yikes. The third thing on my list of mistakes that push me away even further as a dismissive avoidant is punishing me for my need for space. If I'm telling you that I need space, and even worse, if you tell me that you're a safe person and that you're okay with me taking space, do not attempt to punish me for taking that space because you really didn't like it. That passive aggressive, I only do aggressive over here. So guilt tripping and getting angry when I need alone time reinforces, number one, my fear of engulfment or enmeshment, like this two becoming one. I'm not a Spice Girl. Big fan. It's not for me. You're not about to make me feel bad for taking the space that I need. Just like I'm not going to make you feel bad for saying that you need space. But when your space infringes upon the space that I told you I needed, now we have a problem. If you're going to guilt trip me the next time you want to do something and I'm like, that's not for me. Well, remember when you needed some time to yourself and I let you? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be weird and try to throw in my face the fact that I need space because you need, somebody to be a second skin. That's not okay. That's not going to work for me. So that is only going to reinforce the fact that, or the thought that I should say, it reinforces the thought that I have that it's easier and better for me when I'm alone. That it was easier without you than it was being with you, because when I needed space before, I didn't have to tell somebody I needed space. I just took the space. Now I feel like I got to clear it through you before I can take the time, like I work for you. Once the relationship feels like a job, I'm going to mentally check out. Fourth on my list, mistakes that push me even further away as a dismissive avoidant: overexpressing your own emotions too soon. Heavy on the too soon. It's early. We haven't been dating too long. And here you are unloading all your heavy emotions or being extremely vulnerable with me. And I'm not ready for that. I've only known you 2 weeks. I've only known you a month. Why are you talking about you're in love with me? This is too much too soon. These are the types of behaviors. And this is when we're talking about love bombing in particular. Because if you are expressing your feelings sooner than I'm ready to, it could be at a time that is appropriate for the time that we've been speaking, but it's uncomfortable for me. If you're overexpressing your emotions too soon, I'm really talking about too soon. This feels like love bombing to me. And for me, love bombing is uncomfortable. Those of you who fall for the love bombing, you feel validated and you feel seen by this person's fake ass gestures. I feel weirded out and I get suspicious when you start to do this, when I experience these things, because I'm wondering why. And so for me, this feels like too much too soon. I didn't sign up for that. And this is the type of behavior that causes me to withdraw with no explanation, or to even ghost you with no explanation, because I'm definitely not in that place. It's too soon. You're going too deep. And I don't feel like I should have to explain this to somebody who's practically a stranger. The fifth thing on my list of things that push me even further away as a dismissive avoidant is expecting constant reassurance or validation from me. And I mentioned this in a video previously, and people get so offended by my use of constant, as if, yes, it's subjective, but we all know what somebody's like when they're over asking and somebody's overly needing validation and reassurance. You know what I'm talking about. Don't be one of those people that makes it obvious that you've just made a decision at the beginning of this video to disagree with me and not hear what it is that I'm saying. I'm talking about being overly needy. I'm not talking about the fine line between my discomfort in wanting to reassure someone so that they're not dependent on me, or I'm not being too vulnerable and setting myself or this person up to hurt them, and somebody making me responsible for their emotions. There's a big difference. And you know those people that make you responsible for their emotions. That's who I'm talking about right now. Repeatedly asking me, how do you feel? Do you love me? How are you feeling about things? Annoying. That's annoying. That makes me want to not talk to you. It makes me want to not be around you, because now I anticipate that you're going to try to corner me emotionally and try to get me to say something to make you feel a certain way. You're going to have to self-soothe over here. You're going to have to find an adult pacifier of some sort, of some kind. Let it not be a hard drug, okay? To help you work through these problems, because it can't be on me. You're just making me feel overwhelmed, and I don't need that. Number 6 on mistakes that push me even further away as a dismissive avoidant, and that is attempts to use ultimatums. Let me tell you about trying to use an ultimatum on me, because I don't use ultimatums. I just get to stepping. But if you attempt to try to force me to choose between you and something else, or you and my independence, or you're trying to threaten me with I better do X, Y, and Z, or you're about to leave, your Uggs better get to smoking. You better buckle up. You better be ready to lace those Jordans up as fast as you freaking can, my friend, because you are about to get your feelings hurt. Do not threaten me with a good time. I will let you go. I will let you go. If your game plan was to put me under a lot of pressure to see what I'll do, to get me to move in a particular way, by giving me this ultimatum, it's your way or the highway. Beep, beep. Who got the keys to the Jeep? Vroom. I'm out of there. It's the highway for me every time, baby. Absolutely. Ultimatums will not work with me, because I'm not afraid of being alone. Not even a little bit. That's not scary. Those of you that threaten me with being a cat lady, I already got a cat. I'm true to this, not new to this. I'm already locked in. You're afraid. I'm not. Number 7 on my list of 7 mistakes that push a dismissive avoidant away even further is trying to make me miss you. Trying to make me miss you. See, a lot of these coaches are steering you down the wrong road. And I mentioned this in my previous video. Like and subscribe. Shameless plug. You know me. But there's a lot of coaches with these do this and make your avoidant come back. Do this and make your avoidant miss you. Do this during no contact and it'll make them obsessed with you. They're freaking lying to you. They're lying. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you that right now. Keep it $1.50 with you. They're lying to you. The minute I catch you trying to manipulate me, because I might just be this way because people are highly manipulative and shady and weird. And so I'm going to pick up on that manipulative, shady, weird energy. And I'm only going to miss the time before I knew you. I'm only going to miss the time before I knew you. Or even worse, maybe now I'm starting to think about the Phantom X that didn't do this. Man, he never tried to make me miss him like this. He would have never did that. The mind games. Going no contact to manipulate me or acting overly detached, trying to make me jealous. This, very similar to ultimatums, is more likely to backfire on you than it is to get you the results that you want. All it really does is justify me staying silent, removing myself from the situation, and or remaining still or indifferent. Because a lot of times when you're trying to, push this ultimatum on me or force me to miss you or make me jealous, I tend to just kind of sit still and wait for that to blow over. Because I typically, when somebody does this, they're a highly manipulative person. And so I'll let you do what you're about to do and I'll let you go through with it. And when I'm indifferent and you don't get the reaction you want, but what you do get is broken up with, unfriended, and or blocked, do not be surprised. Because what message was I supposed to get when you were behaving in this way? If you make moves to permanently close the door, I'm expecting that door to be permanently closed. If you make a move like you are wanting to go away, or like you are more interested in somebody else, or taking your time and your energy somewhere else, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to make you stand 10 toes down on that behavior, those decisions, what you said. So, to summarize what I just said, 7 mistakes that push me away as a dismissive avoidant that you make are chasing after I pull away, forcing an emotional conversation, punishing me for my need for space, overexpressing your own emotions too soon, expecting constant reassurance and validation from me, attempting to use ultimatums, and trying to make me miss you. Family, thank you so much for tapping in and giving me your time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Find me on Instagram. Check the playlist. All of my information is in the description box. Let me know where you're watching from and your attachment style. Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section, and I will be tapping in with you very soon. Family, keep it real.